welcome to Squawking 1200. Today I'm going to pick up a little bit where I left off yesterday, but instead of using the Piper Tri-Pacer, I'm going to go back to the Airfoil Labs 172. I believe I have my little glitch from pilot to ATC, the push-to-talk button. I got that squared away. For your information, the push-to-talk button number is not what's on... Did you see that? What the hell? I'm doing nothing but sitting here. Alright, we're going to throw in a bug report. Alright, welcome to Squawking 1200. Immediately just had a crash to desktop. Don't know what's going on. So, I'm going to send the bug report. I'm going to use the Airfoil Labs 172, pilot to ATC, and XPlaneRealistic. It looks pretty cool. Why did I get a crash to desktop? I do not know. I spawned in earlier to Groton, New London, KGON. And was just getting ready for the stream, refilled my coffee, boink, crashed to desktop. So we show all the good and the bad here on Squawking 1200. We show our ineptitude at flying, we show our software's inability to stay running. Wow, that's a pretty big report it's sending. It's taking a long time. Welcome to my channel. For those of you that haven't been here before, typically I fly exclusively general aviation aircraft. Error code SQL state integrity constraint violation. No way. Got a violation. It's against the law. HTTP error code 200. I don't even have my phone here. Hang on. Yeah, I do have my phone here. So I know while it's recording, I'm actually going to photograph this error code and maybe do a little Google Ninja work on a little bit. Why? Just take a photo. And we'll click OK. Next up, relaunch the sim. And here I was thinking I was ahead, I was all prepped and ready to go. Negative. It's all prepped and ready to crash. Alright, try new flight. Airfoil Labs, Groton, New London. Kilo Golf Oscar, November. Going to start early in the morning and go. Yeah, it takes about 5 minutes for this to come back up, so why don't you guys go get some coffee, refill. I'm going to go get some bourbon. Jeez, well, something, I don't know. Just when I think I have the stream running somewhat smoothly. Really, yesterday I enjoyed that the Piper Tri-Pacer. It's going to be a lot of fun. Look for that. It's probably going to be my my trade-off. Airfoil Labs, Tri-Pacer, back and forth. Also on the table is I'm thinking about getting the REP, the Reality Expansion Pack for the 172. People that drop by the stream say, yeah, get the rep. It's even better than the Airfoil Lab. So that's up on my short list. Yeah, so just when I think I have everything running smoothly, crashed the desktop this morning. The error code was received an HTTP error code 200. Integrity constraint violation 1048 column. UUID cannot be null type model exception. So I'm going to have to figure out where that came from. Cool, here's some cool wind noise. Let's see. Shut my window. You want to hear the wind noise again? That is the XPlaneRealistic wind noise. Let's see. Reconnect to the sim. I'm going to fire up the AFL 172. Battery on, beacon on, fuel pump. That should do it. Crack the throttle. See the shake of the plane? The noise? That's the XPlaneRealistic. I may, you can adjust those volumes. I may turn it down just a tiny bit. See that little shake there? I'm liking it. I have the G-forces on. Just about every noise that XPlaneRealistic has. Let's see, it's about 315 on the... So it says at 316, that's good. Alright, we're going to go to... Get me back. Direct. Okay. Okay, Block Island, GPS mode. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry, I had to cough.
So right there's a good spot here, shuttle. They're going to go to runway 6, and I don't want you to block off that time.
Alright, the chatter that you hear is pilot to ATC. Flip over to the ATIS channel here, we'll get our weather.
Groton, New London Information Echo. 1000 Zulu weather. Wind calm, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 4200 scattered, temperature 14, dew point -10. Altimeter 2992. Arriving runways 05.
Alright, so we have information
departing
echo.
runways 0515. Advise on initial contact you have echo.
Alright. Let's see, set our pressure here, 29902. That's about right. Looks good. Let's see, we're taking off and arriving and departing 05 or 15. So we'll call up and get our clearance. Let me put in my VFR. Going VFR.
Affirmative, remain on pilot.
We're just going to file flight plan and pick up flight following. It's automatic. validate file. And what this does, this gives us you guys a glimpse into pilot to ATC. So after we listen to ATIS, we're going to go clearance delivery. We'll get our clearance. Cessna 12 Bravo, ready to copy VFR clearance.
Right there.
12 Bravo cleared VFR to Kilo Bravo India Delta with radar advisory service at 6,500.
Alright, I made a mistake. I'm going to read it back. I'm going to refile the flight plan.
Changes en route. Departure on 125.75.
Good spotter shuttle. They're going to go to runway 6, and I don't want you to block.
Cleared VFR to Kilo Bravo.
We're gonna
India
do-
Delta maintain 6,500 feet, squawking 5151. Departure on 125.75. Piper 12 Bravo.
Prospect.
Piper 12 Bravo read back correct. Altimeter 2988 expect runway 15 contact ground on 121.
So we're gonna file again.
When ready to tack.
Altimeter 29.
And then repeat our clearance. Cessna 12 Bravo, ready to copy VFR clearance.
Bravo.
What are you going?
12 Bravo cleared VFR to
Alright, that's
Kilo
better.
Bravo India Delta with radar advisory service at 3,500 feet.
Let's see, so we're going to need ground, which is 12165.
Departure on 125.75.
Going to some gate other than 21 or 23? In that case, back to the ramp. Sorry.
Cleared VFR to Kilo Bravo India Delta maintain 3,500 feet, squawking 5151. Departure on 125.75. Piper 12 Bravo.
Piper 12 Bravo read back correct. Altimeter 2988 expect runway 15 contact ground on 121.65 when ready to taxi. Have a good one.
Alright,
Altimeter
altimeter
2988
2988.
165 for taxi. Piper 12 Bravo.
2988. We're good. I'm going to expect runway 15 in my notes. 121.65. For ground. Put that on my knee board. Let's see, get rid of that then. One, 2, 1, 6, 5. Hey, fisherman with a beard, how are you? Welcome. Cessna 12 Bravo, ready to taxi.
Cessna 12
Alright,
Bravo
do I read
taxi
back?
to runway 15 via taxiways Charlie, Juliet, Bravo. Hold short runway 15.
And we'll pick up our taxi route and pilot to ATC. This way. There's a...
Center 926 Juliet, Romeo, runway 33, line up and wait, traffic lands, runway 6.
Line up and wait.
Pretty much as long as we get over to runway 15, we will be fine. Just gonna taxi light on, check. Throw on our nav lights. Let's go. So fisherman with a beard, using XPlaneRealistic.
6 Juliet, Romeo, traffic will hold position.
So you're gonna see in here, there's a lot more squeaking in the background. I have the G-forces on.
151 Bradley Tower, runway 6, line up and wait, traffic departs, runway 33. Fairwings 151 Bradley Tower, runway 6, line up and wait, traffic departs, runway 33.
The other thing I forgot to turn on. Yeah, let's go for it. See if we can crash the sim again.
November 1 Mike Charlie, turn right on hotel, contact ground point 9. Right on hotel, underground, 46, 1 Mike.
No, this is my I tried it a little bit yesterday
Challenger 6 Juliet Romeo, wind 3503, fly, runway heading.
as my first kind of like demo flight. I bought the Piper Tri-Pacer. And so I tried it yesterday, but today's kind of my first flight with those Cessna 172. It installed pretty easily. Got that little bit of vibration down here on the, you can see it really on the column.
Bearing wing 161, turn right, heading 095, runway 6, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 6, heading 095, Spirit Wings 161.
November 6 Juliet Romeo, contact departure.
So one of the things I really discovered yesterday that I had to fix in my stream was Windows Defender. It really sucks the life out of everything. So if you're using Windows Defender, I recommend turning it off. Oh, there's some squeal. I'm gonna go this way. Follow the line, not the yeah, you can hear the little brake noise. I don't know if that comes up on stream. The Cessna is the Airfoil Lab Cessna.
Spirit Wings 161, contact departure.
Yeah, it's made by Airfoil Labs. It's a nearly study level Cessna 172. You know, like any of the
Cessna 12 Bravo contact tower on 125.6. Have a good morning.
From what other streamers have reported is if you get the default 172 and you buy the SIM coders reality expansion pack, that's even better than this. So it's kind of on my short list to buy and do a little comparison of. But if I have already owned this aircraft, so that's why I'm kind of sticking with it. But if you don't have a Cessna 172 other than the default, and you're looking to buy something to make it better, I would look at the reality expansion pack. Yeah, this is payware. So I think so the default aircraft with the payware SIM coders reality expansion pack, you can find it on the org. I think it's $20. That is supposed to be about a notch better than this. Some of the flight dynamics and some of the stall characteristics, I guess, are better with the reality expansion pack. Let's see, what am I? 125.6. Cessna 12 Bravo, ready for departure, 15. Oh, I forgot my squawk code.
Cessna 12 Bravo winds are 130 at 11 knots, cleared for takeoff, runway 15 squawk 5151.
Worldwide 27, you can proceed direct Bedford, contact Boston approach 124.4.
Alright, let's get out of here. No flaps today. It's good. Got that vibration on the column. That's cool. There should be a difference in the takeoff roll. Sound and action with the with XPlaneRealistic. XPlaneRealistic is a Lua script, so you have to download Lua first. Excuse me. Alright. Off we go. Cool, I'm digging the background noise. Takeoff roll noise changed. Wind noise, that's pretty neat. It's a little different. And there's different, with XPlaneRealistic, you have your choice of wind noise styles, takeoff roll styles, style of rattle.
And right there is a good spot here, shuttle. They're going to go to runway 6.
So departure is 12575.
What are you going to some gate other than 21 or 23?
20, Alpha 20.
Well, that gate taxi to ramp.
This noise sounds almost a little too jet-like with the wind noise, so I think I'm going to find a different one. I don't know if I can control that in mid-flight, so hopefully I don't blow up the stream. Let's see. This is XPlaneRealistic. This is the menu. Atmosphere, engine, rain, flaps, gear. It could be the gear drag.
Altimeter 2991. It's essentially the same weather.
Maybe not. Nose wheel. Head movement, rudder, touchdown. And turn down the wind noise a little bit. So you can hear the different wind noises as I cycle through them. You can turn them down a little bit. I'm going to start with this one. Maybe even turn down the master volume of XPlaneRealistic and see how that goes. We're going to climb to 3,500. And let's see. Autopilot on. 3,000.
Station 5, Papa X-ray, reduced speed 210 now.
On. Nav. Arm. Let's see what the rate of climb is once this thing comes back over here. 700 feet per minute. I'll take that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, here's the link to the Airfoil Labs Cessna 172, and then .org store thinking.
Cessna 12 Bravo, contact departure on 125.75.
Cessna 12 Bravo at 3,200, climbing to 3,500.
Cessna 12 Bravo.
Yeah, the other one that I'm looking for is the
radar contact. Expect runway 10.
Reality expansion pack for the 172. Yeah, this one here. I'll show you in a second. Control copy. So it seems like there's really, right now, there's two choices in Cessna 172s. You have the default, and then you have the Airfoil Labs. The Airfoil Labs has more dynamic controls. You have the maintenance feature, so you can watch as your aircraft deteriorates and then you have to kind of do repairs. It has a much better what am I trying to say here? It has much better out-of-the-box features, better modeling on a lot of things than the default 172. So what happened is people, a lot of X-planers asked sim coders to do a reality expansion pack for the default 172. So now the default 172 is probably better when it has the reality expansion pack on it. So that seems to be the consensus. It gives you kind of all of this stuff, but with slightly improved stall characteristics. So if I were to buy it all over again, I probably would stay with the default 172, buy the reality expansion pack. That being said, there is a rumor that Airfoil Labs is going to make a professional edition of their 172. Who knows when that's going to be, though. So what did it tell me? Which? So expect 10. Oh, I'm like a hot rod here today. Whoa. Just pushing it up into that. Your airplane's going to break. 140. I didn't even think that was possible.
Cessna 12 Bravo, you are 11 nautical miles from Block Island St. 8 radar service terminated. No tower at Block Island St. 8 frequency change.
So I'm going to change to the local frequency.
Roger, have a nice day. Cessna 12 Bravo.
Yeah, I think the reality expansion pack is the way to go. Oh, maybe next week I'll just suck it up and buy it, and then do a little my own kind of comparison. I'm flying into KBID, which I have the Pilot Plus scenery for, so it's pretty nice. Yesterday, Windows Defender kills frames. I forgot to shut it off, and I realized if you're running Windows Defender, it was worth at least 10 to 15 frames easy, and then the stuttering was insane. So with Windows Defender now completely in the exclusions, I excluded the whole folder, XPlane, I excluded Pilot to ATC, so I tried to put as many flights in exclusions. Now I have the graphics cranked up. I'm using World Traffic 3. Not that we're seeing much traffic, but let's take a look at the radar. So there's a couple aircraft around here, and that has us inbound. So I'll do my CTAF call. Block Island traffic. Cessna Skyhawk, November 212 Bravo, inbound from the north, landing runway 10, Block Island traffic. I probably should have said my landing intention will be full stop, but I'm not quite. Yeah. Where is it? Lua? Alright, so something is causing a huge amount of, I don't know if it's gear noise, if it's the gear drag. That's a little better. I was getting a crazy rumble. There's still something that I'm not liking. So I think if the master volume's down, that's a little bit better for my ears. Hopefully it doesn't take away from some of the rest of the sounds. That's what I was worried about. And the only thing, I'm going to turn off the autopilot. Cruise around, find the airport, enter a left downwind. Yeah, I like the shake. Super cool. I believe that's my runway. Yeah. Block Island traffic, Cessna 12 Bravo, entering downwind for runway 01. Block Island traffic. I think I'm a little higher than where I should be for a left downwind. I think I should be a little bit further to my left. So where is the runway? Just kind of flying by the seat of my pants here on this approach. Block Island traffic, Cessna 12 Bravo turning base 01. Block Island traffic. Alright, it's there. Alright, flaps. You can hear the flap drag noise. Retrim the aircraft here. The joystick that I'm using is a CH Eclipse with CH pedals. Gonna overshoot a little bit here, I think. I've been pretty happy with them. You know, if I had money to like bust out and buy some, what are they, Go Flight or a Yoko, yeah, I'd probably do that, but it's not in the cards. Yeah, the CH is the one that's got like the rudder. You can use the rudder. It's on the actual handle, the CH Eclipse. But I'm still using pedals. I bought the pedals, and then I use typically, I don't know why they're not going today, but usually I use what would be the rudder pedals on the yoke itself to look left and right. But I think X camera is interfering with that. Every time I come over for final on Block Island, I get a pretty big loss of frames, which is weird. You have the field made. Good airspeed. It says I'm a little high, but these trees are tricky. Uh-oh, we got some critters on the runway. Should we go around? Oh yeah, come on, Cessna. Block Island traffic, Cessna Skyhawk, November 212 Bravo, going around. Deer on the runway. Block Island traffic. So I'm going to set myself up with a little bit better much nicer approach this time. Kind of fortuitous about those deer. Yeah, see, now I'm up to 30 frames. There'll be a weird scenery load just before I come in, and it'll drop down to like 18 to 20. So I can turn the landing light on, fuel pump on. Nobody in the pattern. I'm using public beta number 5, if I didn't mention that. I'm really impressed with the CPU usage is way down. That's allowed me to turn up the graphics, the anti-aliasing. I'm still getting around 30 frames a second in most locations. So it's pretty impressive. So they must be getting pretty close to being able to get the, I think the 60 frames that they're looking for steady so that they can launch the VR. Uh, 110. Almost a beam of the numbers here. Alright, hopefully those deer are gone. A little bit wide on the traffic pattern today. Trying to use this kind of as my turning point. Yeah, right now to move my head I'm using the left hat with my left thumb. Right trigger finger controls pilot to ATC with the communications. Yeah, so alright, I'm going to try this again. Second notch of flaps. That's the taxiway. Alright, get myself corrected here. It's always an adventure here on Squawking 1200. One thing that I think the track IR would help is finding that extended center line. Some people seem to find it really well just by using the hat switch and looking around. I have a hard time finding the extended center line to get myself lined up really well with the runway. It's probably a practice thing. So we're high, but we're not picking up a lot of speed. Ugh. Damn, that was hard. Oof. Yikes. I could tell my airspeed was low. Did anybody survive? That's funny. Yeah, we all survived. We're walking away. The brake noise? It's kind of cool. The crazy amount of was it some gravity G-forces? That's a lot. Yeah, rippity rip. Alright, so I don't know. Let's take a look at the it's this one thing I'm not sure with this aircraft. You would think you'd have pop tires and broken gear and with something like that. See, but the maintenance is fine. X-Plane didn't give me any. There's no broken parts of the aircraft. That's one thing that seems to be unrealistic. Maybe that's where the reality expansion pack will do a better job. I'm going to switch aircraft. I'm going to let my mechanic look at the other one. Alright. Geez, I should practice that. I'm going to see if I can find that wind noise. Might be the environmental. Could have been the environmental noise. Alright, now that we have a newer aircraft, one that's not all banged up, I think I owe myself some pattern work. Good gravy. Yeah, I'm liking XPlaneRealistic. Just thinking to myself, oh, yeah, it's adding some fun. Alright. I'm going to blame the landing on a little updraft right there at the end of the runway. But I'm pretty sure I recognized my airspeed was too low. Alright. Let's fly the pattern a little bit here and see if I can land this thing respectably. What time is it? There we go. Looked like on the org there was another landing speed type of indicator. It looked like it actually recorded and analyzed more of your landing. But again, I'm going to add one element to my sim at a time. These are Pilot Plus boats, I believe, part of the scenery. That's one thing, I guess, if I'm going to do a live stream, I can't be, kind of got to like just kind of like let all that badness roll and you pretty much just wreck an aircraft. Alright, pre-landing checklist. We're going to basically just need the fuel pump on. Landing lights on. We can throw the strobe light on for good measure. These docks are, I believe, in one of the libraries. I get weirdly built docks. They look cool here, but at the end of LaGuardia, when you're coming in and you're flying over a bunch of boats, that's a little bit weird. Hey everybody, welcome to Amateur Hour on the Squawking 1200. Going to try not to break off the landing gear this time. Did a little bit of flying from KGON. Now we're at Block Island, BID. We have XPlaneRealistic. I have Pilot to ATC on. I have World Traffic 3. Alright. First notch of flaps. This time we're going to try not to let the airspeed get below death. This is not really an easy runway to land at. I think Wycliffe Barrett did actually a review on it. It took him a bunch of tries. The trees just before the end of the runway make it really, really difficult and deceptive. I think these little group of trees is my better marker. If I aim for them. So right now the approach speed looks good. See, now I'm on the glide slope. That's good. And I'm just going to kind of control it with some rudder below 80. I'm going to do second notch of flaps. Little balloon, correct for that. Alright, we've got the airspeeds under control. We're looking good and straight. The airspeeds are dropping. It's a fine line here between the airspeed and the trees. Getting used to the XPlaneRealistic too while it shakes my aircraft from side to side. See, it says I'm up too high. It seems almost like I'm better off not using that third notch of flaps. That seems to be when the stability comes out. Lower the nose, lower the nose, lower. Raise the nose. Alright, this approach is looking good as long as I don't do anything stupid. Coming over the piano keys, throttle down, start my flare. Oh, a little high again. No, not bad. Says good landing. We won't watch the replay. Get the noise there. Let's see, what time is it? Yeah, that time people survived. The landing speed indicator gave me good landing. A little bit of a bounce. Alright, hang on. What is it? Alt R? Alright. Let's do this. Alright, get ready to laugh. This is one thing I don't like about the scenery, is like the repetitive trees. They're a little way too cloned looking. So I was looking pretty good. So Fisherman with a Beard, go to Kilo Bravo India Delta and see if you can experience the trees. So it's looking good. I probably flared a little bit early. Yeah, not bad. One of the things that I noticed at Flight SimCom when I had the VR headset is it was way easier to judge the flare. This is something a couple people that I know that just use XPlane, and a couple of the others noticed. You know, I think it's a little bit tricky to judge the way that the ground comes up. Let's see, what is it? Alt R. This just shuts this off. Control R. Alt R. Shift R. Alright. Yeah, especially with the Pilot Plus scenery, it does draw those trees right up to the edge of up pretty close to the edge of the runway. It's technically, I believe, in Massachusetts. Yeah, it's an island. It's to the west of Nantucket, to the east of Long Island. It's kind of like right in between. So let's take a quick look here at the... go to flight setup here. Let's see if we can generate some little bit of traffic. Yeah, so here on the pilot to ATC map, you can see here we are. It's right here. Could actually even belong to Rhode Island, but I thought it was Massachusetts. So this is Martha's Vineyard, Nantucket, Block Island, Long Island. That's the resync. That's that. Trying to learn all my new key commands. So somebody in a Cessna 150 is going to be 20 minutes. 021. Oh, here's somebody firing up their twin engine. That must be, could be the 421. Kind of fun to look at. Let's see if there's any, get the overall. So here's another one. This is a World Traffic 3 generated Cessna. These are baked into the program. It'd be nice to have Pilot Plus unbake them and re-update it. Same thing with these and that one. It's taking up space from World Traffic trying to generate extra aircraft. I think the scenery is like 15 bucks. I found it was worth it for me. Let's see, now I'm shift 9 to get back in my aircraft. So the next thing I was thinking the motion of XPlaneRealistic here. I don't know if it's the head shake movement. Or where the I wonder if I disable if Cinema Verte is accentuating this stuff. Don't need the reversers. Flaps. So I can't even hear that now. I landed on 1-0. Actually, the approach is tricky from both directions. It's almost identical because there are trees on both sides. I like the 2-8 approach. When I'm making my left-hand patterns, I fly over. There's a little, like a sandbar that I use to line up the runway. It's a tiny bit easier. Coming into 1-0, there's like this group of like 3 trees in my scenery that might not be in the default scenery. Ground roll, head shake. It's probably what I want. Brake. Oh, G-forces. All right. I'm going to turn this down a tiny bit. Head movement braking. G-force effects. Is there more head movement? Heading anticipation. Someone mentioned that this was really good when you're it actually rotates your head so you can see left and right, like, and it does it kind of as you're approaching different spots, so it's like an automatic head turn. So I'm going to try that. Alright, so let's stop wasting extra fuel needlessly here with the fuel pump. Okay, so it's having me look left. So it's doing that anticipation. Somebody's taken off right there. So let's go down to 2-8. There's some more deer. So you can hear the extra squeaking. You can see a little bit more of the dashboard movement with XPlaneRealistic. You're getting to see some aircraft taking off with World Traffic 3. I'm looking forward to when World Traffic 3 is integrated with Pilot to ATC. That's kind of why I'm running both. Alright, get ourselves lined up on 2-8 here. Alright, and usually I do a 10% 10-degree flaps takeoff here. Landing light on. That's in. Reset my trim. I'm going to unplug my headset. Try to judge the different sounds. It's good. Check. Follow runway heading. Okay. It could just be my lack of skill too. Flaps up. Okay, so good. I'm glad at least it's not me. Yeah, if you check out, I think Wycliffe Barrett's review, I think he has the same kind of issue. So I found it's been like a fun airport to, just to test some skills at. I like it because it's nearly on like an east-west. Makes doing traffic patterns good. The approaches are tricky. Alright, should be at the traffic pattern altitude now. So it's so exciting to me to have like the shadows on, to have the reflections on, to be getting like a good 30, 35 frames, maximum number of objects. Alright, Fisherman with the Beard, I might not be on in 15 minutes. I just want to say thanks for coming by the stream. This is probably going to be my last pass. I gotta, kind of get on with the rest of my life. Today's Wednesday, Thursday. Might be back on Friday morning. Actually, Friday morning I got something early. Yeah, the next stream I'm not sure. Probably by chance. Kind of see when I'm freed up. So yeah, thanks for stopping by the stream. A beam of the numbers below 110. Actually, I'm at 80. Seems a little slow. So my mark is usually around this sandbar. It's kind of the extended center line with this scenery. So there's that weird frame drop that I get, and then it kind of clears up. I don't know why it's holding on as long. Usually it clears up faster than that. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's the way we do it here on Squawking 1200. That was a bigger frame loss than usual. Usually, typically, if I drops down typically just below 20 usually. I don't know if it's because I have world traffic on. If that's doing it, here's another spawn in for world traffic. This guy's still here. Fuel pump off. Landing light off. Taxi light on. Found my stop line is when this is lined up right there. Let's say avionics off, strobe, nav. Why did that do that? Taxi light off. Beacon lights off. Key off. These are out. Thing back in the column. Yeah, Fisherman with the Beard, thanks for the conversation. Thanks for everybody else that dropped by the stream today. Typically, I stream mornings Eastern time, typically around 8:30, 9 o'clock Eastern time. And then it's by chance. I try not to stream while the other big guys are doing their stream, so I try not to interfere with like John Fly and the crew over at his stuff. So I just wanted to say, yeah, again, I appreciate everybody. Any feedback, I'm going to post this up to YouTube. Love to hear your thoughts, making sure anybody that listened to some of the previous ones where the audio was screwed up and I didn't realize it, wasted my time and some of the viewers' time. We'll try not to have that happen again. Maybe next time I will have the reality expansion pack, and then I can give you my thoughts and opinions on that. You guys have a great midweek, and see you guys soon.